Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time once again to meet our community, the Hispanic business community here in Orange County. Powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center. And today, have we got an educational show for you today? I don't know. We were laughing offline. Are you going to share any of this, John, about what we were talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to our community podcast show powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, everyone, again to one of our another special shows here. I'm your host, John Gutierrez, Senior Vice President here at the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We have another great guest with us, Karina Fawzy, who is the president and co-owner of California Marketing and Sales, representing more than 40 manufacturers nationwide in the plumbing industry. Welcome, Karina.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's just make sure we can, there we go, give you some good sound.
And can I share the funny story we told offline? Then you guys can go ahead here.
We got to make it fast. We got a great story to tell here.
Karina's from Guadalajara? Is that her family? No.
She is from Guerrero, Mexico.
Okay. And how did Guadalajara come up here?
Because they were just there traveling, right?
Oh,
Correct.
that was it.
Yes,
And,
yes.
And her husband is Arabic, right?
Correct. He's
That's
Egyptian.
right.
Yes.
He's the gentleman, Mr. William, here in the background, who we want to thank, by the way, Mr. William, and of course his wife.
So we get in a big debate because John Gutierrez has to show off his knowledge. He says, Guadalajara is an Arab word. And we're all like, that's not an Arab word. Are you nuts? Guadalajara, the city? So we looked it up on Wikipedia, and it means, I can't pronounce this as well as her husband can, Wadi El Hagara.
Wadi El
It was
Hagara.
named for an Arabic phrase which means Valley of the Stones.
Valley of the Stones. And the reason why it was brought up is because they were visiting Guadalajara, which, of course, my dad is from Jalisco, which is part of Guadalajara, right? And so we were just sharing a little bit
And
about...
you're showing off and trying to tell us that that city has an Arabic name and nobody bought it.
Nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. This is a story, true story. My dad shared with me. And because they also have lots of beautiful horses, and my dad loved to be
Arabian
on the
horses.
horses. Yes. But first and foremost, I want to thank you both, Karina and Mr. William over here for, stepping up and helping our chamber when we needed somebody to help us with our toy drive. For those of us, that have been around our toy drive for many years, people donate at all times, and we got a really nice donation this past this year in the last couple months. It was just a lot of stuff that we had to store, and thankfully through a mutual friend, our friend Mirna Velasquez, who's part of our chamber also, we were able to connect with you folks, and you guys opened up what I consider your home, your business, and helped us store many of our stuff, toys and stuff that was donated to us by our friend Hank, who's friends of John Amador. And so thank you so much for that, first and foremost.
It was a pleasure.
That's it. She's just like, it was a pleasure, John. No, it was more than that.
No, we were happy to help. Honestly,
Yes.
when Myrna approached us and told us this is what's going on,
Yes.
explained the whole situation, we automatically said, hey, we have the space. Why not? So
It means a lot. It means a lot because, as you all know, when we're doing a fundraiser, part of a fundraiser is keeping your costs down, because the fundraiser is to go and help the cause. And part of our toy drive for years that we've been doing, it helps a lot of local charities and organizations like the Santa Boys Club, the Delhi Center, TKO Boxing, many organizations we support. But we also help the orphanages in Tijuana, Mexico, that we've adopted in the last, I want to say 5 years. We adopted about 3 or 4 orphanages through our friend Lucy and Lucy's Angels. And so the fact that this was donated to help them also, you guys stepped up big time. So thank you so much for that.
it's a great cause.
Yes, yes.
Really a
And
great cause.
I didn't know, of course, Mr. William, I just met him the other day, and that you were from Guerrero, Mexico.
Yes, I am.
And
Soy
is that both of
mexicana.
your parents?
Both. My dad is from Guanajuato.
Okay.
And my mom is from Guerrero, but we grew up in a Hispanic home.
Okay. And where did you grow up, if you don't mind me asking?
I grew up in Anaheim.
Oh, okay, okay. So I know that you were a former nurse,
Yes.
and you worked in the oncology department or in the cancer center?
I worked at the cancer center over at Hogue, and then I moved over to a surgical center.
Wow, what a transition from being in the nursing and healthcare industry to now, in essence, being a businesswoman, an executive, an entrepreneur. What's that been like for you?
It's been tough. It's
Really?
been a real learning curve.
What's been tough about it?
Being a woman in a man's industry,
Really?
that's been the tough part.
Okay.
And having people doubt the fact that I can get a hand of the ropes and be able to handle and succeed in such a male dominated field.
And I know Mr. William over here, who's in the background, he refuses to be in camera. I wanted to have him on the show. I know that he mentioned that he really wanted to, in essence, take you under his wing, right, and mentor you, right, in of course the plumbing industry, which is the manufactured plumbing industry.
Yes.
What was that like when Mr. William, of course, your husband, says, "Hey, I want you to look into this new career and do the switch potentially"?
It took a lot out of me to make that final decision and decide, okay, I'm gonna step back from my nursing career and try this new adventure out. And he tried to convince me for maybe a good 3 years, and he kept telling me, and I just kept saying, no, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy, like in my nursing career. He said, but you're gonna succeed in this. Just trust me. And
If I may share the story he shared a little bit earlier,
yeah,
I really love what he said earlier off the air. He said, I saw how tough it was for her and how emotional it was for her and how she would come home crying sometimes when working with these families. And I know because, of course, we own a hospice company and we're in healthcare. My wife deals with this 24/7, right? And my staff. So I know firsthand what it's like to deal with people with stage 4, pancreatic cancer and all types of cancers, right? As a nurse, it can burn you out. It's tough, right?
yes, yeah, it's very tough. You see these patients sometimes every day, and you spend up to 10 hours with them while they're sitting in the chair getting chemotherapy, getting an immunotherapy infusion, anything like that. And you mingle with them. You get to know them. You get to meet their family. You get to know how they're feeling. Sometimes they're feeling good. Sometimes they're not feeling so great. And it's a tough road. And you spend a lot of time with them. You spend more time with them than I would say probably your family. And they become part of your family. They become friends. And to see them suffer in a way because of whatever cancer or immunotherapy they have going on, it's tough. It's really hard. It's like seeing a family member going through somebody having cancer,
Yeah.
or any other sort of disease. And you become close to them, and it's hard when you realize that they're no longer going to come back, and they're no longer there.
Yep. That's tough.
It is very tough.
Because like you said, you get to learn maybe about their kids and their family.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I can share that in the healthcare industry, there's been a lot of nurses that have been moving on to other industries. I know
Yes.
this for a fact. And the reason why is just emotionally, after the pandemic, it was just, they were drained.
Yes.
They were tired. They were burned out. Because this is what I hear all the time from friends in the industry.
That's correct. Yeah.
So maybe what Mr. William was doing over here was not a bad idea, I would say. Right?
I think he took advantage of the situation.
Still call her to know if they have emergency in the surgical center. Can you work today? Can you work tomorrow?
They still call her?
They still
They
call me.
her.
Yeah.
Wow.
My boss still reaches out to me. Well, my old boss.
Yeah.
He still reaches out to me, and he'll text me. He'll say, I need you here. I'll pay you triple, quadruple.
Yeah.
Just come and help me out. Even if it's 2 hours, I'll pay
Yes.
you a whole 10-hour shift. I'm like, I can't. I have a
Yes.
business to run.
Yeah.
It's hard now to leave my plumbing business to go work because I no longer can focus on my nursing career when I'm constantly thinking of what's going on in my plumbing business. It's hard.
It's interesting. The reason why we like to peel the onion, what we call in the show, is because earlier she said, that in the plumbing business world, it's tough. But if you think about it, you already had been through a lot of tough situations in your nursing career. So you're a lot tougher than maybe you thought you were, I would say, right? Because, I mean, working with cancer patients day and night and dealing with their families, I mean, that can prepare you for anything in life, pretty much. And of course, now you're, president and co-owner of California Marketing and Sales, representing more than 40 manufacturers nationwide in the plumbing industry.
Yes.
I mean, that says a lot, right? And of course, also, from my understanding, you're now the VP of this pretty big organization called NAPSD?
NAPSD.
NAPSD.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's the North American North American Specialty Plumbing Parts Distributors.
Which is a big organization.
It's a big organization.
In your industry.
Yes.
And they elected you to become the vice president.
Yes, they did.
And it's nationwide. That's, hey, kudos, right?
Thank you.
I mean, that says that you've worked your way up in this journey.
It's been a big learning curve. I've learned a lot, and I think that helped with this organization.
So share with the folks here that are listening to us and watching us, how is your business structured? Because when they hear plumbing, the first thing they think is, a gentleman driving down the street in a plumbing truck, running to unplug somebody's, bathroom. No, you guys are in the manufacturing, right? You have warehouses, from my understanding?
Yes, we have a warehouse in Orange, and we provide plumbing parts. So we provide the actual parts so the plumbers are able to fix whatever is wrong. We have faucets, sinks, toilets, flush valves, everything that has to do with water, pretty much, and a restroom, kitchen. Everything has.
So you're like
we have repair parts.
You're like
for it.
the Home Depot of that industry.
Yes.
Everybody comes to you.
Specifically commercial.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of vendors that are in the plumbing industry
Correct.
that have obviously contracts with you, relationships with you, and they're constantly calling you guys. Hey, we need this much.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we're constantly getting, our customers are constantly in contact with us every day at any hour, telling us, hey, my engineers need this to repair whatever's broken in their facility.
Can we share how that business was built or created?
So my husband, William, he has been in the industry for a long, long time. And how we started was in 2003. He was let go from his job for this company he used to work for. And he decided to venture out on his own. And we used to work out of his garage.
Wow. All great companies start in the garage. Right, Paul?
I
Apple,
started this in a garage.
right? Apple, right? Isn't it IBM? All these big companies.
We're in the podcast garage right now.
Good job, William.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so he took obviously a difficult, a challenging time and said, hey, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to start my own business.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
That's tough when you're starting your own business.
It wasn't easy. I can tell you, it was not easy. It was hard. There was a lot of long days, a lot of long nights. He would sleep in his car for days just to go from one place to another to try to gain customers.
Yeah.
And then we would have to pack and deliver and
Yeah.
and do everything ourselves for a little bit until we can get on our feet, and we were able to we started off with one assistant. And she did everything for us.
Wow. Well, I always watch Shark Tank, and I know one of the main things they always talk about is customer acquisition. What is the cost of customer acquisition? And you just said you slept in cars. I mean, to gain that customer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I used
there's
to
no
drive
price to that
16
sacrifice.
18 hours driving from San Diego to San
13 hours, you said?
13 to 18 hours.
13 to 18 hours driving. See, I knew we had to have him on the show. He just doesn't want to be on the show, right? But
Should we mic him up here?
I think we need to mic him up, huh, Paul? Look, I say we mic him up and bring come on over here.
We won't bring him on camera. We'll just mic him up.
You want? No, he can scoot over. He's got that other. Come. Look at that. We'll just mic him up at least. There, he doesn't want to be on camera. Okay. He wants flip that other one. Paul, there you go. There we go. And then put that down.
All right.
Okay, he's got a mic.
He's on. Introduce yourself.
Hello, this is William Fawzy. I'm her husband and the
The man behind the throne.
CEO and the founder of California Marketing and Sales, doing business as California Plumbing Parts.
Doing business. Okay. So tell us, William. I mean, I love the story you shared with us earlier about how obviously you wanted your wife to, hey, be the future of the face and run the business, right? But when you started it, did you ever imagine it'd be where it is today?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I did my share fair with working hard to establish this. Even before I started my own, I was number one salesperson in my previous company that I used to work for. For many years, nobody was able to even come close to my record or my numbers. Unfortunately, the owner of the previous company died, and things changed around the company, and they decided to let me go.
Wow.
And I warned them that, are you sure you want to do that? And they said, yep, we can do it without you.
Wow.
And that's where I left, and I start struggling because I didn't have money to start.
Of course.
And I was making good money, yes, but I never thought that I'm going to need to have a capital to start. That's when even my own customers start offering me money. William, we believe in you. Take money, go start. I did borrow some money from friends and family and some customers.
Of course.
And I, as my wife said, we starting from the garage, and I was going, got the order from the customer, go to the vendor, get the parts, go back to garage, pack it, ship it, or deliver it. So it was just a one-man show, me and her, and we finally got a little bit back in our feet. I pretty much got all my customer from the previous company. They all joined me. They didn't know the company. All what they know is me, not the company. So everybody start, yeah, we'll go with you, we'll go with you, we'll go with you. They were patient enough to wait for me because I have to wait till I get the parts. I have to go and pick it up. I have to go and deliver it. They were so patient with me till we established this. And after that, we start with a small office outside my garage. And now thanks God, we have 2 warehouses in city of Orange.
2 warehouses in the city of Orange. Way to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Way to go. And
Thank you.
I wanted you to share this story because obviously you're on our community podcast show of the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And we have a lot of entrepreneurs. We have a lot of business owners and have struggled or are going through the struggle right now after the pandemic, you know. The word I hear a lot out in the field when I'm meeting with a lot of our members is, you know, restructuring, repivoting, rebuilding, because the pandemic did hurt a lot of people. And so it's important that people hear about the struggle, the journey, and how you overcame those situations. Because like you said, William, you were the one-man show. You had to do it all with your wife and packaging it, delivering it, right? And today, how many would you say staff you guys have? Is it? I mean,
We have 14 people.
14 people, great. And these 2 warehouses, I'm assuming that you're constantly having to be just refilling them, huh? And just
Correct.
Yes,
it's
that's
a whole
correct.
process, right? I
And
mean,
we're very small, but we meet the numbers of the big guys.
that's great. You're very efficient,
Yes,
right?
very efficient.
I would say.
It's
Yes, Paul.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I'm just dying to know. Your wife is from Guadalajara.
No, she's from Guerrero.
Guerrero. Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry, but you're in Guadalajara, the city with an
She was-
Arabic name.
We
Yes.
were visiting.
She was visiting.
And your husband's Egyptian.
Yes, Egyptian Greek.
When did you come here, and how did you 2 meet? That's the story we got to hear.
Paul wants to know the story. He wants to know the inside scoop, huh?
I've been here for 32 years. She
Okay.
born and raised here.
Right.
Yeah.
We met through mutual friends,
Oh, that's great.
and we start dating for a little bit, and after that we were unseparable.
Paul, I don't know if you heard earlier. I believe it or not, I pay attention to this. He said he was the number one salesman
Yes,
for
I
his
heard
company.
That. I heard that.
He closed the biggest deal in his life.
Oh, I see. He
right?
closed the deal.
He
with
closed
her.
the deal, right?
It's, somebody, immigrant, have a heavy accent. I'm working for this American company that they have 12 other salespeople that most of them are American, born and raised here, and I'm the only one that immigrant and have accent and all kind of things that you can add to that. And they were wondering how I got those customers.
Yes.
It's like, what is it? What is your secret? I said, nothing.
Yeah.
I just go and ask for the business.
You
Yes.
out-hustled them.
I just go and ask for the business.
Yes.
I remember back in the days we got a couple of big accounts, couple of fitness center that the nationwide customers, and they look at me as like, how did you do it? I was like, I don't know. I speak to them Arabic.
Now you've learned some Arabic
I have.
because I noticed when you guys. That's what threw me off a little bit.
When they converse.
When they were coming up here, you said something to her in Arabic when I was showing you. The
She
building.
understands the language. Not everything, but she understands a lot of
Right?
stuff.
And that's why when you sat on the seat and you were like, I'm Hispanic, and you started speaking Spanish, I was like, okay. Because on the way up here, he spoke some Arabic to you, right?
Yeah,
So,
I can understand a little bit. I know a couple words. Of course, the first thing they ever teach you is the bad words.
I think that's in every.
Which
that's
is
in
a
every
big
culture.
mistake. I shouldn't tell her.
That's in every culture.
That's the one she throws out at you.
I
when
think
she's
in every
mad.
culture they teach the bad words first, right? Yes.
But I know a little bit.
Okay, that's great.
I can pick up. I mean, I can basic, hi, how are you?
Now let me ask you this: culture-wise, what have you learned or appreciated from his culture, and vice versa? What would you guys say?
Actually, our cultures are very similar.
Okay.
There's a lot of similarity between both cultures.
How
No.
so? Because you wouldn't think Egyptian and Greek and Hispanic seem to be complete opposites. I mean, maybe not opposites, but I can't see any connections. there.
Both cultures are very family oriented.
Okay.
Family plays a big factor.
Yes.
Family, food.
Yes.
What
Yeah,
else?
Greek, right.
Yeah.
It's the way that we get raised and the way they get raised
Yes.
is very similar.
Yes.
She was in her parents' house till she get married. She's not allowed to move out,
Yes.
which is the same culture in Egypt too. You don't leave your parents' house unless you get married, so either a girl or a guy. Here, you're 18 years old, and it's
You're
like,
out.
bye, dad, bye, mom,
I'm
and like
gone. Yeah.
you're out.
Yes.
We're not used to live on our own till you get married. Of
course.
So there is a lot of similarity of how we get raised. There is a lot of similarity on the words. There is a lot of words that it's a Spanish word, but in reality it's Arabic too. So it's like kamis, we call it amis.
Okay.
Pantalon, we call it baltalon.
Really?
Rice, ruz.
Yeah.
Rose.
Because
we call it rose.
Spain
There
was
is a lot
ruled
of
by the-
word that you never think it's Arabic word. It is an Arabic word.
Yeah, because Spain was for centuries, half
Yes.
of it was controlled by the Moors, by the
So
Arabs.
there is a lot of similarity that
Well,
we've.
but I think, like you said, William, the old-fashioned, right? The culture,
Yes.
like our parents are, right? Very old-fashioned. There's always that similarity between cultures, especially if your parents were like that and your parents were like
Yeah.
that, right?
I grew up
We
in a
didn't have
very-
dating when we were young. You cannot
Exactly.
date.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still marry her the traditional way. I went, I asked for her hand from her
right.
parents.
Yeah.
I have to get the blessing. I have to get the approval. That's the way we are. Although it's like, no, my parents will be okay. I said, no, there's no okay. I'm still traditional guy.
Yes.
I'm still going to go and ask for your hand. Well, I'm moving in with you. I said, no, you're not. We have to
She's
be
an
married for
American
you to
girl.
move
She's
in.
from Anaheim.
Well, it came to a point to where we were completely inseparable. And we just wanted to be with each other
That's great.
99% of the time. So we were always together. And there was a point that I would just come home and my mom's like, why do you even come home? You're going to leave in the morning. You're going to go hang out with him again. Why do you even come home? Just stay there.
And that must have been tough because we
was
know
tough.
how old-fashioned Hispanic parents are.
Yes.
I know because my wife, I had to ask for her hand. Actually, I didn't even go ask for her hand. We did it so old-fashioned that my parents went to ask for her
Oh
hand.
my goodness! Wow.
Oh yeah, and when they went, they had to take like an
Merging of the families.
Oh yeah, they had
Bring
to
a
take
gift.
like a gift, like a basket, and like
Yep.
like here's a gift for the family.
goodness, I didn't
And
have to
then
do any of that.
her and I were so nervous about the whole thing because my dad was so old fashioned and her dad was so old fashioned. So we're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Are they gonna argue? They're gonna fight? We had like all this right, and when it was all said and done, I asked my wife, my wife, what did she hear from her mom, and then I asked my mom, what happened, and they said, oh, your dad and her dad just went to the backyard and they had a quick little talk and they came back in and everything was fine.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's it? So years later, I asked my dad, what did you say to him? And I just said, well, these young kids want to get married. What do you think? And they're like, yeah, why not? They're in love.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
how we do it
Yeah.
back home.
And we were all stressed out, we were like freaking out, like, oh my goodness. And it was just so simple, but it's the beauty behind the respect,
Yes.
the culture, well, I remember when I said, oh yeah, I'll go ask her dad for the hand. And my mom said, I don't think you can. I think me and your dad have to go. And when I went to my dad joked with me and he said, I'm not going to go. Ask your godfather to go. He was messing with me, And I'm like, what? He goes, well, that's the tradition in Mexico. Either I go or your godfather goes,
Well, the funny part is, a month before he asked for my hand, my sister-in-law came, and they live in Canada. William's parents are deceased.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry to hear that.
So my sister-in-law had to come and meet me because she lived in Canada, and she came. She met me. She met my whole family, and she pretty much gave him.
Yep.
The
I got the
blessing.
blessing from my sister
To-
before
to
I
say yes.
even
Shout out to the
asked for her
sister.
hand.
What's her
Yes,
name?
Rita.
Rita.
Shout out to Rita. She ever watches the show. She played a major role
She did.
in your. Like, I can tell you, my sister played a major role in my wife and us meeting. So
Absolutely. It's only me and my sister, so
Yeah.
it was very important for me to get her blessing.
that's awesome. What a beautiful story.
Wow.
This is not just about plumbing and manufacturing,
telling you.
right? This is a beautiful story of love,
Yeah.
and happiness,
And cultures
and
coming
culture,
together,
right?
yeah.
Cultures coming
And
together.
Similarity of culture.
She
Yeah.
played a big role on the success of this company. I was going through a rough time, and she was standing behind me, supporting me day and night till we built this. Although she didn't join in the beginning, but she was the main support. Is like, what do you need me to help you with? What do you
Yeah.
need me to help you
Oh,
with? She finally joined me recently, but the 3-4 years that she joined, she make a huge difference in this company.
And she had a good job and salary, so you got some
Yeah.
financial
Yeah.
stability while
I-
you're trying to
Yes.
figure this out. That's the tough part for entrepreneurs. What do you do while you're getting going?
Yes.
But I love the story, William, that you shared off the air earlier when you said, I saw all the pain that she was going through as a nurse, which is tough as a nurse, right? Like you said earlier. And he wanted to also save you from that pain.
Yes.
But you had also been there for him during his pain.
Correct.
Right.
And that's part of building love in a relationship.
This
is
is a love story.
yeah.
I thought this is a plumbing
Paul,
story.
Paul, I'm
This is a
being
love
serious
story.
here. And then Paul goes into this.
I thought we were going to talk about plumbing
I
here.
thought we were going to talk about plumbing parts, whether
Then we're
business-
talking about our lives.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you
my
know what?
goodness.
That's what builds you a successful business. Because if anybody comes on the show says, if you don't have the right people, the business won't survive,
Correct.
right?
That's
Correct.
correct. Yes.
Correct.
And obviously you found love and happiness, and hopefully a business that's thriving. And so, what's the future? I know we got to close it out soon, but what's the future? What's the goal? What do you guys want to do with the business? You think?
We want to grow.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
want to grow.
we want to keep
have
growing.
more warehouses in different location, different state. We deal with customers that they are nationwide,
Mm-hmm.
so we like to be where they at, so it doesn't take that long to
Yeah.
ship the products to them.
More efficient.
More efficient.
that's great.
The factory can ship anywhere. Same as us, we wait for the factory to ship the products and then we ship it to the client or the customer. One of our major manufacturers, Sloan Products, they are based in Chicago.
They're big.
So-
Sloan, you see everywhere.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have
Yeah.
to give a shout out to Sloan.
Yeah.
Sloan is big.
Sloan helped us
That's great.
so much
This
in the
factory
beginning.
does not open anybody, or especially a small company like mine.
That's great.
The minute I went by myself and I asked them to help me, their Chris Necasea was one of the most helpful person
That's great.
that helped us to open with Sloan Manufacturer. They
they
give me
gotta give you a
$100,000 credit.
I was going to say they got to give you a credit line, and they don't know if
Yes.
you're going
They
to pay
give
that
me
back.
$100,000 credit where they not opening anybody, and decide to open me because Chris Necasea vouched for me, stick her neck for me.
Wow.
And that was the main push that we got
Yeah.
for.
Well, yeah, that credit line
For
is
us.
like a business loan, right?
Yes.
It is.
That helps you
It is.
build your business.
That is
And we use this with every other manufacturer to say, oh, Sloan open us up. Oh, if Sloan open you up, I will open you up. And that's where got
now-
really, really helpful from these people. It's amazing.
So now we rep 40 lines. We rep 40 different lines.
Wow.
Wow. Well, I wish you all success.
Pretty soon you're moving to Guadalajara. Back to Guadalajara.
I want to retire there.
I will
Not
say
yet,
though,
not
before we go, Paul, I will say Guanajuato is very nice, which is where your parents are
That's
also from.
from my dad.
Okay.
it's
Her
from
dad's
his.
side. Guanajuato is beautiful. I've been there. It's a small town, right? It's very like tight, but it's just a beautiful
I'm
community.
reading about Guadalajara on Wikipedia while you're talking. I didn't know that they have opals there. That's where tequila is
Of
from.
course.
Yes,
Yes.
tequila's
Of course.
beautiful.
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, Guadalajara is a whole different. I mean, it's another level.
Yes.
My cousins live there. They're in the manufacturing business actually.
Nice.
And they love it. I mean, we visit every so often. But I want to just say thank you again for all you have done for us during this toy drive that we did. Both Karina and William. And I just once again, president and co-owner of California Marketing and Sales, representing more than 40 manufacturers nationwide in the plumbing industry. And again, the name of the plumbing, it's an AKA
California Plumbing Parts.
California Plumbing Parts. And, thank you for your support. We're going to see you tomorrow at the Toy Drive
Yes, we'll be
event.
there.
Sure. Thank you for having us.
Yes, no.
It's an
thank you.
honor
Yes.
to be with you guys.
Thank
Truly
you. And
a lovely story and a love story. That's
yes,
what I like. This
Yes,
is
and they're new members of our chamber, so
Okay.
we're going to continue to see them, collaborate with them, and hopefully continue to work with you guys. We'll have you guys back on the show again as you open hopefully new offices, new locations.
and maybe we'll talk about plumbing.
Next time.
You wanted a good story, Paul. We
I
gave you a
did.
good story.
Wow, what a story.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you
guys.
guys for having
Have a
us.
good one, everybody. See you
Appreciate you.
tomorrow at the
Thank you.
Toy Drive.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. The real stories of the real people in our community. Tune in to hear more each and every week here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center. Brought to you by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.